Hello, reader. Thank you for joining us. This is the Christian Readers Community Podcast. On this podcast, we will be discussing with fellow readers and authors. You will never lack for good conversations and recommendations of Christian books. If you're a lover of literary works, fiction and non-fiction, then you have made the right stop here. Thank you for joining us again.
Julie Simmons has a Bachelor of Arts in English and Bachelor of Education degrees from Memorial University. She currently resides in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, with her husband of 30 years, Rodney. Her passions in life, besides her husband, of course, include musical theater, Disney, and Christmas. She has been the host of On the Marquee, a musical theater-themed radio show since 2017, which is now syndicated in Canada. She also teaches classes in musical theater to adult learners. Julie has been legally blind since birth and is a peer support volunteer with the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, CNIB. That's How You Know is her first novel.
Hello everyone, you're welcome back to the Christian Readers Community. I'm Faith, and as usual, I'm here with another author. I can't wait for you to hear her voice speaking to us all the way from Canada. As a matter of fact, this is the first author that I'm speaking with from Canada, and I'd just like to, without wasting much time, I'll just go on ahead and introduce her. Welcome to the show, Julie Simmons. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here with you.
Thank you. How is Canada at this time?
It's warm. Where I live, it gets really hot. I mean, probably not as hot as it gets for you, but it does get pretty hot here in the summer, and it can get hot anytime after April, May. So weather's is fine. Yeah.
Anyway, I've seen so many people complaining about summer, saying that it's too hot.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I'm one of them. I don't like heat at all.
Oh,
I'm
me too.
I'm much more contented in the fall, even winter. Like I don't the only time I ever hear me complaining is during the summer.
Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, I guess that's a beautiful fun fact for our listeners to to know.
Yeah.
So should I say you become a grumpy old lady in summer?
I can be. You just ask my husband. I can be pretty hard to get along with, but I feel like when September comes and the weather cools, I just feel like I got let out of jail because I can go outside again and enjoy the outside.
Oh wow. Okay, no problems. I guess there won't be no complaints on this interview, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm really an easy person to get along with, except when it comes to heat in the summer. I'm not fun.
All right, listeners, you won't hear her grumbling. She has decided to be cool, mellow for this recording, and I'm very grateful.
You bet.
Anyway, Julie, so you wrote this beautiful book, a beautiful romance fiction.
Yes.
And what a title! Like, what a title! When I first saw it, that was what I just thought. When I saw the title of your book, I was like, oh, what a title! And that's how you know.
That's how you know. It's actually named after a song. If anybody knows the Disney film Enchanted at all, the song from that, called That's How You Know, actually plays a part in the plot and how these two get together. So I won't say anything else about that, but that's where the title came from.
So tell us about the book, That's How You Know.
So it's my first novel. I wrote it last year and published it in December on Amazon. And I was 51 years old at that time. So I'm proof positive that it's never too late to realize a lifelong dream. But it's a great book if you like romance, of course. If you like travel, because it centers on these two performers who are working on an Alaskan cruise. So it actually takes place partly in New York City, partly on the cruise, and then back to New York and Seattle. So all things that I'm quite familiar with. Also a great book if you love music, because they're performers and they really live in the world of musical theater. There's a lot of musical references scattered in through the book, them talking about music they like and music they're performing. I actually did a Spotify playlist for this novel, and there ended up being 55 selections on the playlist that are mentioned in this book.
So you said this is your first time writing a novel.
Yeah.
Like this is your debut novel. What was the experience like? What was it like?
It was, as I said, it was a lifelong dream, and I kind of needed to get out of working. I finished working in December of 2021, and that allowed me the opportunity to sort of tap into my own creativity when I left the world of work and all those stresses and struggles behind. Writing the book was the easy part. I always wanted to get an idea for a novel and never really came up with one. And interestingly enough, this one came to me in a dream. I always wondered if that was a real thing, because, you hear creative people talk about that all the time, how they've got a song lyric or something creative, inspirational in a dream. And I always thought that can't be for real. But I'm here to tell you that it is. I dreamt one of the scenes, and then I had the story fully fleshed out in about a week, and I sat down, I wrote a synopsis for myself, and then I started writing in late January of 2023, and it just, I don't know, it felt like pure magic was happening under my fingers on the keyboard. Like it just flowed out of me, and I had the bones of the book written in a month. But I took a lot of time to, keep reading it over. I mean, authors read their manuscripts more times than they'd like to admit. And, fixing it up and adding some content that came to me, and, just perfecting it, adding better adjectives and adverbs, that kind of thing. And I realized, I didn't know if I'd publish it at all. It was just something I was doing for me. And then I realized this is something I'm proud of, and I think it should be out there. So a friend told me about Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon, which I knew nothing about. And, it was a great process in that, you upload your manuscript. It's pretty straightforward, step by step. I never had to speak to a person ever. Like, I published a whole book and never spoke to a person except the person locally in my own city who designed my cover. That was great. It saves authors the irritation of trying to get agents and get publishers, and that's such a hard road. So self-publishing, I had it out in less than a year from I had the initial dream in the new year, last year, 2023, and the book was released December 1st, so less than a year, and there it was. The marketing is the tough bit.
Hearing that you had to go do this in less than a year is really something to
it was funny because when Christmas came around last year, I had a published book, and I thought about it, and I'm like, the Christmas before, a year before, I had no inkling on the planet that I was going to write a book that next year. And so it's kind of surreal when you think about it.
Wow, that's something. And it feels like something from from a magic book or a magic movie.
I know. It was just, I don't know, but I just felt like something magical was happening, and I just wrote with it. I wrote every day that month that I took to get down the bones of the novel. The vast majority of it. I wrote every day, all day. My husband would go to work. I'd start writing, and I'd stop when he got home at dinner time. So it just happened.
Wow. Okay, so tell us, are we to expect something new from you, or are you thinking? I'm going to take a very long break from this?
Well, I would love to write another book. I'm considering a sequel, sort of, to this. Like their story definitely has a solid ending. It's not something that leaves you hanging. But the hero in the book has a 15-year-old son. And I'm thinking if I maybe write something about his son some years later when he's 20-something maybe and coming of age. His dad is like 40 in this book, and the heroine is 24. So his 15-year-old son, there might be something there. I've had friends say they would like to see more from these characters, and I would write another one. I mean, right now I'm concentrating a lot on marketing and getting the book out there and interacting on social media with potential readers and other authors, and I'm doing some book signing events and the typical stuff. So I'm there for a while. I don't know when the next inspiration might hit, but I am so very open to it.
Okay, so how much of you is in this book?
Very good question. A lot. My friends, people closer to me who know me, sometimes they'll say to me, they'll laugh and they'll say, Julie, I can hear your voice in this book. I gave my heroine a lot of my hang-ups. She has severe performance anxiety, as do I. Like her, I'm also a singer, a performer. And there's a lot in this book to do with musical theater, which is definitely a world I know well. I host a radio show here in Canada called On the Marquee, and it's all about musicals. So I wrote about the world I know very well, and I also perform that kind of music, and I do suffer from the performance anxiety. I gave her a lot of my self-love issues, body image issues. She has struggles like that. And I found that by doing that with her, I found it quite therapeutic for myself. It was almost like helping her overcome and work through her issues helped me with mine. So she doesn't look like me. She looks like I wish I looked. I gave her my dream appearance.
Yeah.
But I did give her a lot of my insecurities and my self-doubt and that kind of stuff. And the musical theater too is a whole lot of me, because it's my passion. It really is. It's the world I thrive on. I know about this world and how it works. I even teach classes here in my city. I teach classes on musical theater to adult learners, intro to musical theater, different classes on various composers in musical theater. And, you know, I know New York and Seattle well. I've been to New York to see Broadway shows. I've been on an Alaskan cruise twice, so I understand how the world of performing on a cruise ship works. So yeah, I definitely wrote what I know. And my hero, he doesn't look like my husband, but in so many ways he is my husband. The beautiful, sensitive, caring things that he says to her, some of them are actually right out of my husband's mouth. So it was kind of a love letter in that way too.
So this book, one can say it was written out of experience. So if anyone picks up this book, everything about music, every statement about music will be purely accurate.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of minor, small details that unless you know that world really well, you won't know. A couple of few things I did take a little teensy bit of artistic license with. But again, if you don't know the world of musical theater like I do, you will never realize what those things are, probably, because they're small little details that I needed to work with a little in order to make it work with the plot. But yes, you can be sure that very much most of everything in that book is accurate and true to the way that world and that business works.
So besides your book being available on Amazon, where else can anyone find you or your book?
Well, my book, Amazon's the best place internationally. I've got it in a couple of local places here, but anywhere else you want to go get it on Amazon. I haven't gotten around to making a website yet, but I am on so much social media. Like, I have author pages on Facebook and Instagram and X, or what we would know as Twitter, Goodreads, Pinterest, all kinds of stuff. And I do have a link tree. If your listeners may know what that is, it's a place online where you can store all of your links. So you go to that one site and all my links are there. So that is Linktree, linktr.ee/Julie Simmons author, one word. And if you go on there, all my links to all my social media and my book and everything are on there.
All right, everyone. For every hopeless romantic, I highly recommend you check out Julie Simmons. That's How You Know. I mean, it's an intriguing title. That's How You Know. All right, Julie, I wish you all the very, very best with this book, and I hope you would write again, because I'd really like to also know about, your hero and your heroine and the son of the hero in your book.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just hope you write more and write about them. And I
always do warn. I do have a lot of Christian friends, and I do warn them that the book is not specifically Christian oriented. It's very heartwarming.
It's clean and wholesome. Yeah.
The best way I can describe it, it's like a Hallmark movie. It's very heartwarming, and there's a lot of great moments in that, like that. But it's got spiciness in it, and there is a little bit of coarse language, although it's not excessive. All of my other Christian friends have come back and said, don't worry about it. No caveat needed. I'm not a prude. So they've read it and they've loved it and been good with it. So I just wanted to give your listeners that little bit of a heads up.
So if you're looking for a clean and wholesome book, check out Julie Simmons. That's How You Know. I'm going to say, check out Julie Simmons' book titled That's How You Know. Because I don't see it outrightly. People would think, check out Julie Simmons, That's How You Know. No one will know that was the title. But this is really wonderful. Very creative. Very creative. Thank you so much, Julie, for that disclaimer. Thank you so much. Yeah, so in the spirit of transparency, this is actually a very clean book, a beautiful book. And it was actually recommended by a Christian book marketer, and I looked at it and I was like, yes, we can do this. Yes, so and finally she's here, and you've heard about the book. So if you're a hopeless romantic and you're a fan of you're a fan of romantic fiction, check this book out, and I do hope you enjoy it. All right, everyone, thank you so much, Julie, for coming. This has been a wonderful conversation. It's been nice having you here. And when you write again, please let me know, because I'd like to know about the next book, and of course we would also like you to come tell us about that one as well.
Absolutely, I would love to.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, and until I come your way again next time, I'm saying stay safe, stay blessed, and bye everyone.